done the will of the Father. I wonder how many perhaps identified themselves with a religious organization. I was baptized as an infant. I remember, in speaking with Catholic people sometime, and you ask them about their relationship with the Lord, and they're like, I've always been a Christian. I grew up in the Catholic Church. There's an outward identification of "Sir, I go." But ultimately the question is, but do you do the will of the Father? It's not just an outward statement. I'm afraid, especially in the South, that we have droves of people who have walked an aisle, raised their hand, signed a card, joined a church. They said, "Sir, I go," but then don't go. Don't live their life for the Lord. Don't do the will of the Father. Jesus said very clearly in Matthew chapter 7, verse 21, listen, not everyone who says to me, "Lord, Lord," enters the kingdom, but he who does the will of the Father. It's not the one who outwardly says, "I'll go." Whether you say it outwardly, do you ultimately fulfill your repentance? And maybe you said no to begin with, but at some point you turned and said yes, by the grace of God, to do the will of the Father. Secondly, we see that rejectors refuse God's servants and His Son. Jesus gives another parable, verse 33. Hear another parable. There was a certain landowner who planted a vineyard and set a hedge around it, dug a winepress in it, and built a tower. And he leased it to vine dressers and went into a far country. Now let me tell you who the players are in this cast. The landowner is Jehovah, the God of Israel, the great I am. The vineyard is Israel. The vine dressers are the religious leaders of Israel. Now, when vintage time, verse 34, drew near, he, Yahweh, the